Back as early as tomorrow, 6 world powers, including the United States, are expected to present Iran with demands before a resumption of talks on that country's nuclear program. Now, this follows President Obama's meeting Monday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. President Obama has made it clear he prefers diplomacy and pressure to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. The Prime Minister says his country reserves the right to attack. And joining me now, former State Department officer and Democratic congressional aide on foreign policy matters, Rubin. Joel, it's great to see you again.
Thank you for having me, Tamron.
We started out the week wondering how it would play out, this big meeting with Netanyahu and President Obama, even the ramping up of rhetoric from the GOP candidates before AIPAC. How have you measured at least what we've seen this week so far?
Well, the president is showing leadership qualities that all Americans want in their commander-in-chief. He's showing that he's listening to his military officers who uniformly don't want another war in the Middle East, listening to his intelligence leadership, which say that Iran has not decided to go for a nuclear weapon. And as a civilian leader, he's making the decision on how to proceed. He has a smart, strong, tough approach, and it seems that it's gaining traction now overseas and in the international community with talks coming up.
I want to play a little bit of what the president said yesterday in the news conference regarding the rhetoric or the drumbeat for war that is out there, particularly with the GOP candidates. Let's play it, please.
If some of these folks think that it's time to launch a war, they should say so. And they should explain to the American people exactly why they would do that and what the consequences would be. Everything else is just talk.
And speaking of talk, you were quoted in the Huffington Post in an article, Joe, where you said it's talk to Iran, de-escalate the crisis atmosphere, and define our interests. Is that what we're likely to see next?
That is what we're doing, and the war talk is very dangerous. Even Ephraim Halevi, the former director of Israeli intelligence, the Mossad, said yesterday that this kind of war talk is encouraging an Iranian reaction of fear and one which may encourage them to actually move faster to a nuclear weapon. We need to ratchet this down. The policy in place is working. It's bearing fruit. It's strong. It's effective. It will be hard slogging ahead. Negotiations and diplomacy are not easy, and that's why we have to have a sustained dialogue with the Iranians to really resolve the issues, know what they're doing.
But Joel, at the heart of it, you point out it's a long slog. Israel says that time is not on their side. Netanyahu returned today to Israel. What should we be watching for from Israel at this point?
We do need to watch the Israeli reactions. They have a legitimate concern about the Iranian intentions, and they are bringing this up as they should. But the Israeli public, too, does not want to see military action. Experts across the board say that Iran has not decided to make a nuclear weapon. That's our intelligence community's assessment. It could take 1 to 3 years for them to even build a nuclear weapon if they decide to do so.
But Israel is not convinced of those numbers.
Well, the Israeli Mossad itself, the current leader, Tamir Pardo, has said that Iran has not decided to make a nuclear weapon. And so this is very tense right now. And it's very important that the facts are straight, and that's key. And so the intelligence community assessments, those facts should be listened to, and that should really help drive the diplomatic process.
All right, Joel Rubin, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll be talking with you very soon. Thank you, Joel. Great pleasure having you on. Coming up for the first time.